Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So I wanted to do a follow-up from my previous video because I had some things I wanted to mention that I didn't mention in that video, some more optimistic things, because I do have two competing views of the future. I have a more pessimistic view and a more optimistic view. So I want to share with you some things that I think, that make me feel more optimistic about the future. So if you think about, this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor. If you think about the average crypto investor, they check certain boxes as far as characteristics. For the most part, let's say 80%. Even the larger, more prominent voices in the space. So they check certain boxes. They have a distrust of authority, right? They don't want their money devalued. They, don't trust the system. On top of that, they're more freedom-oriented, more freedom of speech, right? They don't want to, have like a bank or somebody have the ability to be able to censor them based on what they say or what they believe. And so for the most part, I would say the overwhelming majority of people in crypto fit that box. And if you get into crypto, it's essentially you're making a massive short on the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar. I mean, that's essentially, when you're buying into crypto, that is more or less shorting the dollar, shorting the U.S. economy. So that's the average crypto investor. So why do I mention that? Well, think about the people who are not into crypto. I did my last video on the authoritarian push that I think that we're going to see in crypto and in blockchain. And while I do still think we will see that, think about all the people who are not into cryptocurrency. And, there's people on both sides of the aisle that are not in and that have their reservations on getting in. But the people on the side of the aisle who are for a lot of the authoritarian measures that we're seeing right now, those everyday average individuals on the ground, they're going to be some of the last people into cryptocurrency. And why is this? Well, they trust authority. And on top of that, they believe what the media tells them. So they're not going to buy until the media comes out and says, okay, this is the new system. So, and you add on top of that, these people have a certain, narcissism about them and don't believe that they think that they know everything. And one of the first things that you have to acknowledge when you get into crypto and when you're looking into crypto is that you know nothing. Right? I have to acknowledge this every day. I know like a fraction of what I really need to know to understand the space as well as I could. And so you look at those individuals being some of the last people in, and some of the more freedom-oriented people being some of the first people in. I would say the majority of the people that are in crypto right now fit that original description that I listed off first. So if everything was going to be completely nightmarish and dystopian, and it might be for all we know, but if it was, why in the world would the people in charge give us enough information? Because they've provided this information, they've made it public. You just have to find it, and you have to be able to compile all the information and make sense of it as one body of evidence. Why would they give people like you and me and other more freedom-oriented people the ability to ignore all the madness, look at all the information, think critically, and act accordingly? If this was all going to be bad, why would they give us the opportunity to become generationally wealthy through and getting into cryptocurrency early? And the very people that support a lot of the measures that they are taking right now are not in, right? And will be some of the last people to get in, for the most part. So, and I'm just looking at the people that I know who, actually support a lot of the, the crazy measures that we're seeing. And I've had conversations with all of them. And I told them what's coming. I said, I'm just going to let you know, this is what's going on. You're being played. So when this happens, if I'm crazy and this is a conspiracy theorist, then none of this will come true. And that was 6 months ago, and a lot of them laughed at me. And now they've changed their tune because, they just thought it was the most ridiculous thing that they've ever heard. And now they're starting to see commercials. Now they're seeing it on every single sporting event. Now they're seeing it on PayPal, on Venmo. Now they're seeing it, through every time, anywhere they go, they're seeing it everywhere. So they changed their tune a little bit, but the point that I'm making is that those people will be some of the last people in. And what the people in charge are doing is they are providing normal, everyday people like me and you, and especially the people that disagree with them, and the plans that they have, they are allowing those people to, essentially they're just laying it out and saying, if you can ignore all the madness that's going on and you can actually focus on, you know, the information that's out there that we have made public, you can, you know, become generationally wealthy. So, you know, that alone, the fact that that's even an opportunity at the same times where we're seeing these dystopian measures take place, the fact that they've laid that out makes me think that, you know, the next 5 to 10 years might be different from what I originally thought. Makes me think that there might not be so much crazy overreach. And a lot of the overreach that we are seeing right now is solely for a purpose. The purpose being to draw enough people's attention to where, you know, people are so preoccupied with everything that's going on that they can't possibly see the main thing that's going on. So I think that and it also might just be to create the problem to which they will later present the solution. Okay, this is what I mean by that. You know, what if, I'm just speaking hypothetically here, what if we transition to, you know, the private sector running most of everything, and CEOs taking more of a leading role when it comes to public policy and things of that nature, and that people get so fed up with government that it's just no longer feasible to have them continually running everything, and the private sector steps in and says, okay, this is so bad, we're going to take over at this point in these areas. I'm not saying entirely, right? Because I still think, you know, local politics will still carry on. So this might just be the creation of a problem to which they are later going to present the solution, but they can't roll out that solution if everything is going, you know, relatively okay. Things have to be going very, very bad for people to say, I will accept anything other than what this is. This is so bad. Anything else you got, I'm open to all suggestions. So that might be what we're seeing. I'm not sure. I just know that if the real goal and the real intention was to completely silence and crush people who disagree with them and who are more freedom-oriented people, if that was the real goal and the real intention, it doesn't make sense to why, because they have to know that those type of people are the people that are figuring out what's happening in crypto. They have to know this. I mean, it's almost like it was set up this way, which is hilarious in the sense that the people that actually support the measures that they are taking will be the last people to figure it out. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It's made me think of things a little bit differently, and it's given me a little bit more optimism about the future. So that's all I got. Just wanted to put this out there. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you everyone who has liked, shared, and subscribed. Take care. See you in the next video.